Blessed morning, friends, folks. This morning's lesson is on the meek for August 15, 2023. We have scripture, Psalm 37:11. The meek will inherit the land and enjoy great peace. And a quote from Jeffrey B. Wilson: meekness is the mark of a man who has been mastered by God. Interesting. We all know that Jesus was meek, and the meek shall inherit the earth. In word, when a wild horse is trained for service, he is ridden until his will is broken. It may take great patience, but if the rider can persevere longer than the horse can buck, the victory is won. The will is broken and the horse is compliant, ready for useful service. When Jesus told the meek they were blessed, he implied a gentleness, a humility, a submission that an untamed will does not know. He who invoked Psalm 37, it was a promise that those whose will is ruled by God, in other words, those who have it broken, will come into his inheritance. It applies to Israel's kingdom and the ever-elusive promised land. As this verse may have originally intended, it also applies to anyone who knows good things come from God. We are his children, and he will bless us with a lavish inheritance. We are suitable for it if we are meek. Why is meekness so valued by God? Because it defers to him. It does not take matters into its own hands, but acknowledges the ability of the one on whom we depend. God is honored by such deference. It allows him to work in our lives without onlookers confusing his work with our self-efforts. It does not accomplish its own agenda to the negligence of kingdom concerns. It's the appropriate way for a flawed and infinite human being to relate to a holy and infinite God. It lets him accomplish his will. Indeed, the conclusion. Where are you on the meekness scale? No, God does not ask you to be timid and weak. He is, however, asking you to be gentle and unassuming, compliant and broken. He does not honor an untamed will. He honors those who rely on him to accomplish his purposes in their obedient lives. Eternal fruit can grow from such a life, and eternal fruit is a greater inheritance than we can imagine. This reminds me of January 5th, 2008. After Annie and I got into it, that was the beginning of me being broken right then and there. I was complying with the cops because I got tired of running from the law. I had warrants here, and they come and got me. And I had warrants in Cabo County as well. Once they got me and they locked me to a bench over here at Comanche County Jail, then finally put me in a cell, I was broken. And that's when I surrendered to the Most High God right then and there. Surrendered to Jesus on my knees. I remember I found a book, and on the back it had the sinner's prayer. And I really disagree with people saying, repeat after me. And they do the sinner's prayer. I say you do it on your own. But that's just me. You may think differently. Maybe that'll work for you, but it didn't work for me. I didn't want to do it that way. I looked at it and I made a format out of that, and I got on my hands and knees, and I never bowed to anyone. The problem with us Indian people is we don't want to surrender to no one, even to this day, even though we are defeated people, defeated nations. We don't want to get on our knees to anyone, maybe our wife when we marry them. But I got on my knees to the Lord. Because of that, I did get on my knees later on and marry my wife November 17, 2010. But this is January 5th, 2008. I got on my knees and I cried. So I don't want to be a drunk no more. I don't want to be on drugs no more. I didn't want to be a better dad to my girl. At that time, I had cake and that was it. She was a little over 1. But I was ready to face all the trouble. But I couldn't face all the trouble without the Lord. Now look, here I am 15 years later. He changed me up. I think one of the most important things that I asked for a solid job because I was fighting fire. Fighting fire wasn't cutting it. And then it led me over here to trash. I've been over here to trash for 14 years now. But I think the most important thing that I asked was give me something to do. I know all people can get in trouble when there ain't nothing to do, but my native people, when they don't have nothing to do, they want to go drink. They want to go do drugs. These days, you can't even do drugs out. Somebody sneaking in some fentanyl on someone and killing them. This ain't just for Indians. This is for all places, all races, of all human beings. But if we are meek and the God's will we seek, then we ain't going to be wanting none of that no more. Because the meek shall inherit the earth. So don't be poor, be rich in his blessing. bless you. I ain't journey.